نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد بسم الله. Inshallah, we'll continue today from ayat number 29 of Surah Al-Mursalat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي ثلاث شعب. So next, in these ayahs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes their final abode, the destiny of deniers. These are the people who disbelieved life after death. So on the day of judgment, it will be said to them, "Intaliqu," proceed to that which you used to deny. So those people who used to deny the hereafter, deny the resurrection, deny accountability, deny paradise and hell, now that the day of judgment has come and it is real, they will be taken to their final place, which is hell. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Intaliqu," we said to them, "Intaliqu ila dhillin dhi thalathi shu'ab," proceed to a shadow having 3 branches. So the word intaliqu, and another qira'ah, it comes as intalaqu in past tense, means to proceed or they will proceed. And zil, which actually refers to zill min dukhan nar, the shadow of the smoke of hellfire. And here what it means is, think about the situation when you're walking in sun. If you're walking in sun and you want to get a bit of shade to avoid the heat and scorching of the sun, you go into a shade and then have some rest. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering disbelievers here to go towards a shade which is not to give them comfort, rather this shade is made up of fire and heat of Jahannam. So disbelievers will be walking towards the shade of a smoke of a huge fire and to be all around them. So the 3 branches or columns mentioned here could refer to the fire that's above them and to the right of them and to the left of them. Allah knows best. So they'll be surrounded by fire. لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب, but having no cool shade and not availing against the flame. إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر. Indeed, it throws sparks as huge as a fortress. So the word sharar is plural of sharara, and qasr means a huge castle or fortress. So the flames and sparks of hellfire will not be like that of this world. They will be much more intense and magnified, like the size of huge castles and fortress. كأنه جمالة صفر, as if they were yellowish black camels. So jimalat is plural of jamal, meaning camels, and sufr, plural of asfar, which means literally yellow. So literally, if you look at this term, jimalat and sufr, it would mean yellow camels. But in Arabs, they actually use this term for black camels, and those camels had a bit of a yellowish color on their backs. So jimalat and sufr are actually black camels with a yellowish color at the back. So the verse is describing the fire of hell. It will emit such huge sparks of fire. The Jahannam will emit such huge sparks of fire as if they are the sizes of big castles. Then these sparks will break up into little splinters as if they were black camels with yellowish backs. So this is the scene Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing, which is the punishment of disbelievers. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ, woe that day to the deniers. هَذَا يَوْمُ لَا يَنْطِقُونَ, this is a day they will not speak. وَلَا يُؤْذَنُ لَهُمْ فَيَعْتَذِرُونَ, nor will it be permitted for them to make an excuse. That is, this day they will neither be able to talk, nor they will be permitted to offer any excuses. We know from other verses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will allow people to speak and offer excuses on that day. So there seems to be a contradiction between this verse and other verses. The fact is, there is no discrepancy in these verses, because there are many stages of accountability on the day of judgment. In some stages, they will be forbidden to speak, and in other stages, they will be able to offer excuses. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ, woe that day to the deniers. هَذَا يَوْمُ الْفَصْلِ جَمَعْنَاكُمْ وَالْأَوَّلِينَ, this is the day of judgment. We have assembled you and the former peoples. فَإِنْ كَانَ لَكُمْ كَيْدٌ فَكِيدُونَ, So if you have a plan, then plan against me. The word kaidun means plan. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a severe threat and a harsh warning. It's actually an open challenge. It means if you're able to save yourself from being punished by me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and escape my orders, then use your tricks, use your plans to do so. But indeed, you will certainly not be able to save yourself. As it comes in Surah Hud, وَلَا تَضُرُّونَهُ شَيْئًا, and you cannot do him any harm. In a narration narrated by Abu Dharr anhu and Muslim, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, so this is the hadith al-Qudsi, يَا عِبَادِي إِنَّكُمْ لَن تَبْلُغُوا ضَرِّي فَتَضُرُّونِي وَلَن تَبْلُغُوا نَفْعِي فَتَنْفَعُونِي. O my servants, you all can never attain my benefit and thereby benefit me, and you all can never attain my harm and thereby harm me. So no matter what you do, how much you try, you will not be able to change my plan, let alone just come close to even hurting me. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Woe that day to the deniers. Let's look at the summary of these ayahs. So from ayahs 29 to 40, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the intensity of hellfire, such that its sparks are as big as huge castles and yellowish-black camels. And no one will be allowed to speak and offer excuses on the day of judgment. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenges to disbelievers to try all their tricks and plans to escape his punishment, but they will not be able to do so. إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ فِي ظَلَالٍ وَعُيُونٍ. Indeed, the righteous will be among shades and springs. So after describing the destination of disbelievers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a glimpse of the abode of righteous people. So we just learned about what will be the final destination of disbelievers, and now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is switching to describing the final destination of righteous people and their rewards. Notice the righteous people are described here as muttaqeen. So why the word muttaqeen is used? Well, these rewards are for those who stay away from shirk, because shirk is the biggest sin as not forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So muttaqeen have this quality that they protect themselves from all kinds of shirk, and hence they will be eligible for the reward here. وَفَوَاكِهَ مِمَّا يَشْتَهُونَ, and fruits from whatever they desire. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Eat and drink in satisfaction for what you used to do. So the word hani'a means to your satisfaction. There's no limits. You can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. It will be available to you. إِنَّا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Indeed, we thus reward the doers of good. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Woe that day to the deniers. كُلُوا وَتَمَتَّعُوا قَلِيلًا إِنَّكُمْ مُجْرِمُونَ. O disbelievers, eat and enjoy yourselves a little, indeed you are criminals. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes back to discussing the situation of disbelievers, and here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to them that you may eat and drink and enjoy yourself in this world, but this duration is very short, and the punishment of hereafter is much more extensive and extended. The fact is, the hereafter is eternal, so life and the joys of this world are minuscule in comparison to the hereafter. As it comes in Surah Luqman, نُمَتِّعُهُمْ قَلِيلًا ثُمَّ نَضْطَرُّهُمْ إِلَىٰ عَذَابٍ غَلِيظٍ. We grant them enjoyment for a little, then we will force them to a massive punishment. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Woe that day to the deniers. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ ارْكَعُوا لَا يَرْكَعُونَ. And when it is said to them, bow, they do not bow. So the word irka'u means to bow down, the order to bow down. And one meaning can be to signify that they do not submit to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered, they do not follow. And whatever He has forbidden, they do not leave it. Another interpretation is that this is about performing prayers. That when these people are called to offer prayers in this dunya, they refuse to do so. And yet a third interpretation is that this is related to hereafter. when these people will be asked to perform ruku in the hereafter, they will not be able to do so, and Allah knows best. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ, woe that day to the deniers. فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثٍ بَعْدَهُ يُؤْمِنُونَ, then in what statement after the Quran will they believe? Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a rhetorical question towards the end of the surah. So He sent down Quran, which is the last divine book. Its language is eloquent, its message is clear, and its arguments are convincing. If they do not believe in such a book, then what guidance and which type of information are they seeking? There will be no book of guidance revealed after Quran. A deeper meaning ulama explain in this ayah is that for those people who call themselves Jews and Christians and claim that they believe in Musa and Isa alayhi salam, then even their belief is incomplete. Why? Because Musa and Isa alayhi salam both had indicated coming of the last prophet. So if they now reject Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his book, then they are in fact rejecting the teachings of Torah and Bible as well. That is why when they reject Quran, they actually confirm that they do not believe fully in any divine book or message. Let's look at the summary of these ayahs. In ayahs 41 to 50, we learn about the blessings of paradise for believers and a respite given to sinners for a limited time in this world where they can enjoy the bounties, the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here, but they will be then caught with a severe punishment in the hereafter. And finally, rejection of Quran means rejection of all previous divine books. So rejection of Quran means rejection of all previous divine books, and whoever cannot take message and take heed from Quran, then there is no other source of guidance available to such a person. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم